And up next is Action TV.
Action TV revealed on the 14th of March 2007 as to how classroom activity at Sri Rahula College in Meethotamulla had been affected against a backdrop where not only the children but even the teachers were unable to hide their coughs. This was due to the Colombo Municipal Council disposing waste from the Blumendal landfill in a field adjacent to the school with the intention of lessening the load at Blumendal. The Sri Jayawardhanapura Municipal Council and the Kolonava Urban Council too joined in this scheme and disposed of waste here, occasionally setting piles of waste on fire when space became scarce. The Buddhist monk, who held the position of principal at this time, revealed the suffering of his students. 3 years after the Chief Minister concluded a 11-year term as President, waste disposal at this site continued, and the Supreme Court, considering a fundamental rights petition which had been filed in this regard, ruled that waste disposal would be allowed to continue only for another 2 years. As a result of the Colombo Municipal Council failing to follow this ruling, 2 years ago the waste hill collapsed, depriving several families of their residences. The footage recorded by the Action TV cameras that visited Rahula College this morning proves that the Colombo Municipal Council still does not have a suitable waste disposal program. Therefore, shouldn't appropriate action be taken to relieve the students and teachers of this school from this health hazard? Chief Minister of the Western Province, this one is over to you.
Starting off with some news from the cricket field, in an action-packed day 4 of the second test where 17 wickets fell, New Zealand's Black Caps had Sri Lanka trailing on 316 runs with 6 wickets remaining at stumps at the Pisara Oval in Colombo.
After a mammoth first innings score of 412, New Zealand bowled out Sri Lanka for 244 and posted another 194 for 9 to set the hosts a target of 363 runs. Sri Lanka resumed batting in their first innings on an overnight score of 225 for 6. The Lankans lost their last 4 wickets, adding just 19 runs to post a total of 244, with Thilam Samaravira contributing 76 runs. Tim Southee took a 5-wicket haul for 62 runs, while Trent Boult bagged 4 wickets for New Zealand.
Scream! Edged and taken on the second.
Batting in their second innings, the Kiwi lineup was ripped apart by the Lankan bowlers led by Rangana Herath, who picked up 3 wickets.
Yeah, taken. The Lankan team. Driven by Taylor, lovely shot through the covers. Beautiful shot from the New Zealand skipper, and that will bring up 50. Top knock in the second innings. New Zealand skipper Ross Taylor top scored with 74 runs as his team declared on 194 for 9, setting Sri Lanka a target of 363.
Out, don't bother coming back, that's almost run out. They just carry.
Kiwi's pace spearhead Tim Southee gave the visitors hopes of levelling the series when he dismissed opener Tharanga Paranavithana for a duck and Tilakaratne Dilshan for 14 runs. Kumar Sangakkara and skipper Mahela Jayawardena too disappointed with single figures as the home team ended on 47 for 4 at stumps.
It is a learning curve, and this is a great learning curve.
The former CEO of the International Cricket Council, Harun Logat, in his report on Sri Lanka cricket notes that a domestic cricket structure that is not optimal nor sustainable and thus not developing excellence prevails in the country. Logat has mentioned this as the 7th key issue in his report.
Harun Logat stated that strong arguments exist for a critical review and change to the current domestic cricket playing structures. Logat also notes that at present there are too many first-class cricket teams, players and matches causing financial strain and a steady decline in playing standards. The report adds that the hitherto central model, which is fully funded and managed by SLC, is not sustainable and needs to be reconsidered with the future in mind.
The recommendations made by Harun in his report regarding domestic cricket is something which is nothing new really, because restructuring has been spoken about, but there have been various impediments that has prevented it from being operative. that is one sector of the argument, because I think the development of Sri Lanka cricket cannot take place without the clubs coming into the fore, because the infrastructure, the cricket administrative capabilities are all encompassed in the clubs to a great extent. But I think provincial cricket has to also play a big role. Now, provincial cricket has been played, but I don't think there has been a tournament which has in fact brought out the best in provincial cricket. So these are areas which have to be given serious consideration.
In 1996, so then President Mr. Ana Ponchewa had a similar discussion among the past cricketers and administrators, and had a seminar and submit a similar report where he has mentioned about the restructuring the domestic cricket tournament to reduce to 10 teams. But the same idea has come after 15 years from Mr. Harun Logat and spending 15 million rupees.
Well, shifting gears from cricket to football, European football's governing body, UEFA, is considering ditching the Europa League in favour of extending the Champions League from 32 to 64 teams.
UEFA President Michel Platini told a French newspaper that while nothing is decided yet, they were discussing the matter and that a decision would be made in 2014. An extension of the group stages to a 64-team format could see 7 English clubs qualify for the competition rather than the current 4, and increase the number of Scottish teams participating from 2 to 5. The Europa League has been criticised by some since it replaced the UEFA Cup in 2009 and exists in the shadow of the more lucrative Champions League.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of Primetime News. It was an absolute pleasure having you with us. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Krishna Panitharatna. Good night.